Welcome to IVF This, episode 107, How You're Supposed to Feel. Welcome to IVF This. I'm your host, Emily Ginn. After 10 years of primary and secondary infertility due to both male and female factor infertility, I am now the mother to 3 beautiful miracles. I am married to my favorite person in the world. I'm a social worker, a life coach, and an IVF warrior. I'm here to teach you how to manage your mind and emotions during your IVF journey, to break free from anxiety and regain control of your life, even in the midst of infertility. I'm going to teach you how to say IVF this to how we think about, talk about, and experience infertility. Let's go. Hello, my beautiful friends. I hope you are all doing so well today. I've noticed myself lately feeling like a little bit off, a little bit of a funk. Feels like I've been sick for about 2 weeks between like colds, and then I got a really gnarly stomach bug. So the topic that I'm going to talk about today is been really prevalent in my mind lately. All right. I've been reminding myself about this a lot. So I wanted to talk about it. So let's jump in. I want you to start by doing a quick body scan. What are you feeling emotionally, and where are you feeling it? For instance, you might say anxiety, and I feel it in my chest. Now, when you do a body scan, what you're doing is checking in with your body. I always encourage my clients to close their eyes when they do this, and you might be listening to this on your commute, and that's not really the safest choice right now. But when you re-listen to this episode, I want you to try and keep your eyes closed while you do the body scan. I don't want you to ask your brain, what am I feeling and where am I feeling it? Because your brain is going to tell you all sorts of things that aren't necessarily true. We want to just check in with your body. Your brain is not invited to this particular party. That's the line I usually use when we do a body scan. What are you feeling and where are you feeling it? Now, how do you think you're supposed to be feeling right now? Do you think it's different than how you currently feel? Are you supposed to feel some other way than how you're feeling right now? I'm going to take an educated guess and say that it is probably different for some of you, because this is what we do to ourselves. We create this tension inside ourselves because our brain is telling us how we are supposed to feel. And I'm putting that in the largest air quotes ever, right? But our bodies are telling us something very different. So the example that I offered earlier, if you're feeling anxiety and you feel it in your chest, but maybe your brain's like, we don't have anything to be anxious about. What's the problem here, right? That is the tension that we're talking about. You have no reason to feel anxious. Like that's an emotional gaslighting technique for yourself. And I'll talk about that more at a later date. But what I want to reiterate is that your brain is telling you how you're supposed to feel. Again, largest air quotes in the world, but your body is telling you something different. That's why it feels so awful. That's why you feel so tense. That's why you feel so edgy or agitated or, again, anxious. There's an internal war that is being waged. And hear me when I say this. How you feel right now is how you are supposed to feel. Anything else is resistance. Anything else is tension. Anything else is lying to yourself. Anything else is invalidating yourself. It is in this tension, this denial, this arguing with reality that we often react to our emotions. We might feel restless and unsettled and turn to food or alcohol or shopping or social media or something else in an effort to feel better. What I want you all to know is that acknowledging how you feel and allowing yourself to feel it doesn't mean that you're resigning yourself to only ever feel that way. And I know that that's a lot of times what we do when we're talking about things like anxiety or fear or grief. We just feel like if we let it in, then it's going to overcome us. But it doesn't mean that that's how you'll always feel. It doesn't mean that you're giving up. It doesn't mean you're broken. It doesn't mean you're damaged. It is not a bad sign of things to come. It isn't to say that this is your new normal and that you just better get used to it. It's not to say that you are stuck. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. This has come up so many times lately in my coaching, and that's why it's on my mind. It's also on my mind because I've been telling myself that a lot lately and trying to remind myself. But this comes up almost in every discussion I have with my clients, potential clients, on the open coaching call that I do once a month. Acknowledging how you feel and allowing yourself to feel it means you're no longer resisting what it is. That's all that means. Again, it doesn't mean that you are just going to become this emotion for the rest of your life. It just means that you're not going to be resisting it. You're not going to be fighting it. A war has to have two combatants. So if you're not resisting it, if you're not fighting it, there is no war to be waged. It's freedom. Oh, I just had the weirdest Mel Gibson in the Braveheart freedom. Anyway, I'm so sorry. That was a tangent. Acknowledging how you feel and allowing yourself to feel, acknowledging how you feel and allowing yourself to feel just means you're no longer wasting your time and energy arguing with reality. You can decide to feel differently in the future because you can decide how you want to think about yourself in the future. And remember that those thoughts will cause feelings because all thoughts cause feelings. So we're in charge of those. It's a beautiful system. There are only 3 things in the world that you truly have power over, and that's how you think, how you feel, and what you do. But whatever's going on in your body is already there, and telling ourselves that it's not supposed to be there, that we aren't supposed to feel that way, just makes it worse. It makes it so much harder instead of easier. And the truth is that how you feel doesn't mean anything about you. If you feel jealous, it doesn't mean that you're a jealous person. If you feel angry, it doesn't mean that you're an angry person. If you feel happy, it doesn't mean you're a happy person. If you feel sad, it doesn't mean you're a sad person. You are a person who is feeling feelings, and that is all. And feeling something is a normal part of being a human. All people feel. All humans feel. So please hear this. How you feel is not a problem. What you make how you feel mean is the only problem. I see so many of my people, my clients, my friends, my loves, creating negative emotion on top of negative emotion instead of just allowing themselves to have a clean experience of pain. We dirty our own pain up with the judgments about what it means that we're feeling and the thoughts about why it shouldn't be happening and how we shouldn't be feeling what we're feeling. So, and if you want to know a little bit more about the clean versus dirty pain concept, I have an entire episode called Clean Pain versus Dirty Pain that explains that idea. But the Cliffs Notes version of it is that we have so many people that create negative experiences of clean pain. We dirty our clean pain up with our judgment about what it means about what we're feeling. Right? The thoughts about why we shouldn't be happening or how we shouldn't be feeling, how we're feeling, all of that stuff, right? We dirty it up by believing the lie, and it is a lie that your brain is offering you, I know, by believing the lie that we shouldn't be feeling how we're actually feeling. Don't do this to yourself. Just don't do it to yourself. If you've been doing it, decide that you're not going to do it anymore. Telling yourself that you shouldn't feel the way you're feeling would be like me telling myself that I shouldn't have blue eyes. They're blue. They're blue. They should be blue. How do I know? Because they're blue. That's it. It doesn't help me to argue with reality and tell myself that my eyes should be some other color than what they are. They're blue. I shouldn't have brown eyes. How do I know? Because I have blue eyes, right? Now, feelings, unlike eye color, right, change. They're transitory. They don't last forever. They're simply a product of your past thinking. And once we fully allowed ourselves to feel what we're feeling because we stopped judging ourselves for how we feel, because we stopped telling ourselves we're supposed to feel some other way, only then can we create a different emotional experience. And this is what I mean when I talk about how we don't have to get rid of our feelings, because we can't, but we can change how we experience them. Only then can we process what we're actually feeling. Only then can we let it flow through us in a clean way. And just a side note, this is also true for other people. If someone were to tell you that you shouldn't feel how you're feeling, what does that create for you? Does that make you feel any differently from how you're feeling? No, I wouldn't think so. In fact, for me, if you're anything like me, it usually creates a feeling of indignation on top of what I was already feeling. Like, who the hell are you to tell me how I'm supposed to feel, right? Whatever you're feeling is not a problem. So conversely, whatever someone else is feeling is also not a problem. Even if it's your partner, even if it's your parents, even if it's your best friend, your boss, whoever. I know so many people who desperately want to try and control, monitor, or change the way they or someone else is feeling. This is a byproduct of deciding that what you or someone else is feeling is a problem. Again, the energy waste, the time suck that's involved in trying to change something that cannot be changed, it can only be allowed. So yes, this episode is on the shorter side, but I want you to come back to it. I want you to bookmark this one, save it, because you will need this reminder over and over and over. And if you're anything like me, over and over and over again. I know I do. Sometimes I'm recording these podcasts as much for myself as I am for you guys. So I need these reminders too. Next time you notice that little voice and it says, you're not supposed to feel this way. That's how I imagine sometimes, like almost like an Eeyore. You're not supposed to feel this way. You shouldn't be feeling this. You should already be past this. Where's my tail? You should be doing things better than this. This makes you weak. I'm already annoying myself with that voice, but something's wrong with you. You must be broken, whatever, right? You know what that voice is. We all have it. And so you're just going to gently remind that Eeyore, or if it's the drunk asshole or whomever it is, it's in your head telling you in that voice that you shouldn't be feeling how you're feeling. You're just going to remind yourself in a very gentle and loving way, nothing has gone wrong because I'm feeling this emotion. Whatever it is I'm feeling is what I'm supposed to be feeling. How I'm feeling is totally okay. And how I'm feeling doesn't mean anything about me or any other human on this planet. We all have thoughts. We all have feelings. There's nothing wrong with me. How you're supposed to feel, how you're supposed to be feeling, is how you're supposed to be feeling. Period. End of statement. We know that because that's how you're feeling. And then once you've allowed that feeling to pass through you, then and only then will you be able to create something new for yourself, to change the way you experience all those emotions that we tend to run away from. Grief, anxiety, fear, jealousy, the list can go on and on. You don't have to get rid of them. They're supposed to be there. We just want to change our experience of them. We want to stop calling ourselves names because we feel an emotion. Once we change our experience of them, of these emotions, then we can actually address them, process them, remind ourselves that feelings cannot kill us. I know it feels like they can sometimes, especially grief or anxiety, but they can't hurt us. We just are experiencing those emotions. I think it's a beautiful reminder that we are all these beautiful, messy, complex people, every single one of us. One of my favorite Brené Brown quotes is, no one rides for free. We all get the human experience, the ups and downs, the good, the bad, but we're going to do this with intentionality. We're going to choose how we want to think and feel and show up in the world. This is one of the most beautiful gifts that you can give yourself. And this is what I want for each and every one of you. And that's what I have for this week. Have a beautiful week, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of IVF This. If you like what you've heard, click subscribe and follow to make sure you don't miss an episode. And if you want to learn more, head over to www.ivfthiscoaching.com to learn how to work together.